meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, notice of which was sent to the Record and the Star Ledger and was posted on the Municipal Bulletin Board.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sims.
Here.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Here.
Mayor LaBrus.
Here. Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Okay, we have some proclamations tonight, and I'm sure that's why some people are here this evening. You're a good-looking group tonight, I gotta tell you. So I do have one proclamation. It really isn't why everybody's here tonight, but it's still very important. And I'm going to read that before we go into our other proclamations for the evening. And it reads, whereas heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States with more than 600,000 deaths each year, and whereas there are 407,000 persons in New Jersey with coronary heart disease, and whereas heart disease is preventable by making healthy life choices such as exercise, not smoking, healthy diet, and whereas walking for 30 minutes each day for 5 days each week will decrease your chances of heart disease. And now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrus, Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with members of the Hackensack City Council, do hereby declare February American Heart Month in the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, presented this 26th day of February 2019. So we should all take that 30-minute walk or more every day. So now, in honor of Black History Month, get my microphone over here. As everybody knows, this is Black History Month, and we have some honorees in the City of Hackensack. For the last few years, we've been doing this every year. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Sims for all his hard work on this. He puts a lot of this effort into this, and he does a very good job. So at first I'd like to bring up, and at the same time I would like Catherine from Congressman Gottheimer's office to come up here at the same time. Yes. So I'm going to read the proclamation first, all right? And as that person comes up, you'll also, all right? So could I please have Janet Davis come up, please? How are you? How you been? Good to see you. So I'm going to read the city proclamation first for you, and it reads, whereas Janet Hightower Davis came to Hackensack in 1985 and fell in love with education as a substitute teacher and earned 2 teaching licenses, teacher of handicap and teacher of K-5, and was a full-time teacher by 1988. And whereas Janet's heart is in Hackensack Middle School, where she loves unlocking her students' maximum potential for the past 31 years. Janet has served as a teacher of science and math, a qualified teacher of special needs students in all subjects, a guidance counselor, a student council advisor, a home tutor, and has participated in plays and school programs. Janet also taught children on the playing field in Sunday school and became a mother to her favorite students, Olivia Nicole Davis and Charles Harrison Davis. And whereas Janet continued her love for learning by earning 2 master's degrees in educational leadership and administration in 2010 and in special education in 2007, both summa cum laude. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. In 2017, Janet was selected as Hackensack Middle School's Governor's Teacher of the Year. And whereas Janet gives honor to all who guided her along the way for the past 31 years and to the many children who return to Hackensack Public Schools as teachers and administrators to make a difference in the life of a child. Janet continues to serve as an exemplary, creative, and innovative teacher, counselor, mentor, and friend who is known as Mama D to students and peers. Janet loves God, Olivia, Charles, Charlene, her sisters, her close friends, her Hackensack Middle School family, and probably everybody in this room. So now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the members of the Hackensack City Council, do hereby recognize Janet Hightower Davis for her achievements and contributions to the community. I'm going to turn the mic over now to Catherine. Catherine Best is here from Congressman Gottheimer's office at District 5.
So on behalf of Congressman Gottheimer, I present you with a Congressional Certificate of Recognition presented to you, Janet Davis, on the occasion of the City of Hackensack's 3rd Annual Black History Month celebration. Congratulations for being named a recipient of the 2019 Excellence in Education Honor in recognition of 31 years of commitment to the City of Hackensack. Your commitment to the Hackensack community, to academic excellence, and to improving the lives of others is exemplary. I commend your dedication to leadership and to community service.
Thank you, Catherine. This comes from Senator Robert Menendez's office, and I'm lucky enough to read a certificate of special Senate recognition presented to Janet Davis in recognition of your tenure and leadership in education in the City of Hackensack during Black History Month. So you guys got the trifecta tonight. So congratulations. So we're going to don't go away, because when you guys are all done, we're going to want to do a little photo op up here. All right? So we'll do, stay on up here. But next we're going to bring up Mr. Mark Johnson. Sir, how are you? Good, good. Good to see you. And whereas Mark Johnson, the youngest and only son of 3 children born to Dorothy May and Wilbur Leroy Johnson. And whereas Mark Johnson started his career over 33 years ago as a counselor for troubled youth and rose to supervisor at the tender age of 19. Mark earned his bachelor's degree in psychology from Rutgers Newark College of Arts and Science, and while working with homicidal and suicidal teens at Rockland Children's Psychiatric Center. And whereas Mark began his career at Hackensack High School as an outreach counselor in the Drop-In Center and obtained his master's degree in education from New Jersey City University. Mark became an assistant principal for grades 10 and 12 as well as district anti-bullying coordinator, and now is director of the Drop-In Center. And whereas Mark Johnson has always been an active member of his community, serving in leadership roles, and has received numerous awards, accolades, and commendations such as Employee of the Year, New Jersey Most Outstanding Black Achievers, Jabari Society, and Administrator of the Year, to name a few. His greatest accomplishment is being a loving father to his beautiful daughter Yasmin, who has graduated Stockton University and will be pursuing her master's degree in the fall. So now therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the members of the Hackensack City Council, do hereby recognize Mark Johnson for his achievements and contributions to the community. Thank you, sir.
So a Congressional Certificate of Recognition is presented to you, Mark Johnson, on the occasion of the City of Hackensack's 3rd Annual Black History Month celebration. Congratulations for being named a recipient of the 2019 Excellence in Education Honor in recognition of 26 years of commitment to the City of Hackensack.
And another certificate of recognition from Senator Robert Menendez, presented to Mark Johnson in recognition of your tenure and leadership in education in the City of Hackensack during Black History Month. Congratulations, sir. Great job. Don't go away. That's your 3. All right. Mr. Rodney Lane. sir. Great tie. No, sure, absolutely. Yeah. It's your night, man. Whereas Rodney Lane, one of 9 children, was born in 1968 in Dover, New Jersey, to Ray Lane and Odessa Lane. And whereas in 1986, Rodney graduated from Dover High School and in 1992 from Ramapo College of New Jersey with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Communications. And whereas since 1996, Rodney served 11 years at Hackensack Middle School and 11 years at Hackensack High School, for a total of 22 years as a teacher in the district. He served as an assistant coach to the Hackensack Comets football team, a teacher of the special needs students in all subjects, and a tutor of home instruction for students unable to go to school. And whereas Rodney is the founder of the Learning Alternative Program and Game Fest and co-founder of the U.S. versus Them basketball games, and whereas Rodney Lane continued his love for learning by earning 2 master's degrees in special ed, one in '97, and educational leadership and administration in 2018 with a 4.0 GPA, and serves as an exemplary, creative, innovative teacher, mentor, and friend. Now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse Jr., got through it this time, Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the members of the Hackensack City Council, do hereby recognize Mr. Rodney Lane for his achievements and contributions to the community. Thank you, sir.
I present this Congressional Certificate of Recognition to you, Rodney Lane, on the occasion of the City of Hackensack's 3rd Annual Black History Month celebration. Congratulations for being named a recipient of the 2019 Excellence in Education Honor in recognition of 22 years of commitment to the City of Hackensack.
Thank you.
And also from Senator Robert Menendez's office, a certificate of special recognition presented to Rodney Lane in recognition of your tenure and leadership in education in the City of Hackensack during Black History Month. So congratulations, sir. And Mr. Lane would like to speak. Sure. Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. I prepared a couple words. I just think it's appropriate to say a couple things to people that have impacted my career and the career of many people. Many of my students are in the back that go back nearly 20 years. It's a great night. Thank you, Mayor LaBrosse, Deputy Mayor Catastrino, Deputy Mayor Sims, Council, others from our Board of Education, Hackensack colleagues, Central Office administrators. Black History Month is an American history. Black history is American history, and the City of Hackensack has a rich Black history. I stand on the shoulders of giants for the people that came before me, trailblazers. Congratulations to Janet Davis, Lillian Whitaker, and Mark Johnson that are being honored with me tonight. Growing up, I grew up in Morris County, one of 9. My dad served in World War II in a segregated unit. He went on to be a sergeant in the military police at Picatinny Arsenal. Neither of my parents went to college, but they stressed the importance of education. During my 13 years in public schools, K to 12, I never had an African American male educator. The first time an African American male educator was before me was in Ramapo College a man by the name of Andre Perry. Andre Perry is from Hackensack. Andre looked like me and served as a mentor. To this day, over 30 years later, my friends and I talk about Andre with great fondness and respect. Hackensack, in 1986, I was interviewed in Hackensack by 5 people. 2 of them were African American males, Francel Walker and Bill Austin. That was unheard of to me. I've never experienced such diversity. In my interaction with these 2 men, it indicated to me that Hackensack was a place that I had never experienced before, people that looked like me in public education. I was hired at Hackensack Middle School and was welcomed with open arms by people that looked like me. Bill Austin, Cora Mackey, Rena Glasgow, Peggy Cruz, Shirley Deering, Joan Williams, Elliot Turner, Charlene Scott, Anita Jenkins, Garcia Austin, and Janet Davis. They welcomed me with open arms and made me one of their own, even though I was a stranger from Morris County. In terms of diversity, Hackensack was well ahead of its time. Black teachers, black administrators, black board members, diverse stakeholders everywhere. Finally, my students. Some of them are in the back there. I wanted to be the teacher that I never had in public schools. A real-life Sidney Poitier from the film To Serve with Love. The opposite of every negative stereotype of the black man. Over the years, I have become obsessed with a level playing field. And given them a fair opportunity, encouragement, and hope, many things are possible. Sometimes one has to redefine themselves as an educator or union leader. It is about making connections based on fair opportunity that are impactful and can last a lifetime. An image of an African American excellence is American excellence. As I stand here in the same town where Nellie K. Parker was the first African American public school teacher in Bergen County, I leave you with this to all of Hackensack. No matter where we are in life, we cannot be perfect, but we can always be better. The best is yet to come. Thank you, Hackensack, for the last quarter century of serving your children. Thank you.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, would Lillian Whitaker please come forward? And whereas Lillian K. Whitaker, a native of Hackensack, New Jersey, has been a genuine and proactive leader in the Hackensack Public Schools with an educational career span of over 42 years. She was the first female dean of students and now principal of Nellie K. Parker Elementary School. And whereas Lillian Whitaker graduated from Hackensack High School and earned a degree in music from Lincoln University in 1975, Lillian started her teaching career in Newark, New Jersey, and thereafter Hackensack Public Schools. In 2003, she graduated from New Jersey City University with a master's degree in education. And whereas in 1996, Lillian was recognized with the Records Community Service Award as an advocate for the whole child. Whether a child needs a warm coat, a meal, academic support, or social and emotional well-being has always been her priority. And whereas Lillian is a lover of gospel music, she served as the music director at Mount Olive Baptist Church here in Hackensack and Bethany Baptist Church in Newark. Having been the recipient of multiple awards and honors, she remains a humble servant and model of love and generosity to friends and family alike. Now, therefore, I, John P. LaBrosse Jr., Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the members of the Hackensack City Council, do hereby recognize Lillian K. Whitaker for her achievements and contributions to the community.
On behalf of Congressman Josh Gottheimer, I present you, Lillian Whitaker, with a Congressional Certificate of Recognition on the occasion of the City of Hackensack's 3rd Annual Black History Month celebration. Congratulations for being named a recipient of the 2019 Excellence in Education Honor in recognition of 41 years of commitment to the City of Hackensack. Congratulations.
And once again, also from Robert Menendez's office, a certificate of special Senate recognition presented to Lillian Whitaker in recognition of your tenure and leadership in education in the City of Hackensack during Black History Month. Thank you for all of your service. Thank you. Would anybody else like to say anything? There we go. Mike's yours.
Being born and raised in Hackensack, I count it a privilege to work here all these years. And I just have one statement, which is my philosophy. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Therefore, to God be the glory.
I'm not going to embarrass you, Yasmin. I just want to say thank you. I see some of my students out there. I know Mr. Lane had you, but it's wonderful to see some of our young people come out. I'd like to thank my administrative team back there. I see one of my star pupils, Tanea, snuck in. But I just like to say that I'm a product of Hackensack. I grew up in Hackensack. I love Hackensack. I'll do whatever I can to help these young people be successful. My daughter's a product of Hackensack. My sister, who's over there doing Facebook Live, she's a product of Hackensack. This is a special town. I brag about it. But I stand on the shoulders of giants as well. Francel Walker, Joe DeFalco, Mike Caez. A lot of people groom me. I replaced that outreach counselor, Linda, over there, who's dynamic. So I'm very proud for this accomplishment of all of us, and standing up here with Lillian Whitaker, who was responsible for my daughter getting through her elementary years and setting the foundation for her to move on. So again, thank you for coming out. This is a wonderful town. For those who are serving these young people and other stakeholders, keep doing what you're doing so Hackensack can remain special. Thank you.
Too many people to thank. There's so many people to thank. So being recognized first, thank you, City Council. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for all of these accolades. Not necessary. I expect homework done, and I'll see you on the job tomorrow morning. I'm still there, but I am here because of the many teachers. Rodney named them all, but I go back to Willie Sinclair and so many others. I wouldn't be here if somebody named Dr. Joe Montesano said, "You're a teacher." I'm a what? You're a teacher. Well, I'm gonna love Dr. Montesano forever, Superintendent Anthony Marseglia, and Dr. Thomas Riccadella. Within a week of substitute teaching, I had a long-term assignment and then finally a full-time job. 3 decades. There are many of you standing in this room who let me stand on your shoulders because I thought I was about to drown. Teaching saved my life. Many, many, many times. I finally realized what it was. Made me love teaching so much. I learned that I have a passion for affecting positive change in kids at the middle school. Who knew? I will continue. I will teach. I will teach this. We must press to be the best and the happiest person we can be. We got to do it ourselves. We must help each other. We must walk in peace. We must present ourselves as a person with a genuine respect and concern for our community, Hackensack. And we must keep education strong. We must invest in every tool and every facility that makes our students highly demanded in every walk of life. Since 1985, it's been my pleasure to serve, just to do my little part. Keep my comets flying high at one school, my school, Hackensack Middle School. And I have many HMS daughters and sons who are staff and students. I love you all. Yes, I do. Olivia, tell your brother Charles, thank you for sharing Mommy for a long time. This honor is the greatest of my life because it's from family. It's from Hackensack. I love you. Mama D out. Do your homework.
Thank you so much. What a great night, and not to make us feel old, but there's over 100 years of service here. Okay, so that that's dedication. Has nothing to do with how old we are, but the City Council really appreciates what you people do for our students, and and they deserve it. You guys are great, and nights like this really make Hackensack special. And at the end of the day, we're all from Hackensack, and we get it right here. And comments that were made, reflect that, and it's shown here tonight by the outpouring of people that came. So again, thank you from the City Council, and thank everybody for coming tonight. It's an honor to do this, and we respect and love all of you. So thank you. Let's move right on to, let's do the
Minutes.
approval of the minutes.
You need to do the special meeting, which was the dog park, separately,
Okay.
but January 8th and the 29th you could do together, because Deputy Mayor Sims was the only one that was absent on those 2 nights.
The dog park one was, do we have a date on that?
That was before one of them, right? January 8th?
It was January 8th.
Okay, so we're going to
We need a motion.
motion to approve the minutes for the January 8th meeting for the dog park. Got an offer?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And now for the Cowan regular meeting of January 29th, 2019,
And January 8th.
and January 8th regular meeting, sorry.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed?
Okay.
Okay, we're good with that. And we'll move to the city manager's report, please.
Okay, good evening, Mayor and Council, invited guests. This is the city manager's report for February 26, 2019. First on the agenda is 2019 appraisal systems letter has been sent out. The completion of appraisal systems for the 2019 assessment has been complete, 2018 has been completed. All letters were sent out. Next is, there is a senior bus trip coming up on March 15th. Please see our website for details. 3, community beefsteak dinner is on March 14th, 6 to 9 at the Elan. PBA Chamber of Commerce and Crime Stoppers are also sponsoring this event. Please refer to the hackensack.org for details. Building Department update, 132 notices written, 131 inspections made, 9 summonses issued, 11 CCOs done, 28 Oprah requests fulfilled. We're going to get to the city manager's report rather quickly. I'd like to just go through. We will have obviously a full-blown budget review, but I did want to update the council and the residents that are here as witnesses. In 2019 is the final stages of the preparation, and we will be ready to introduce on March 26th to the mayor and council meeting. The Finance Committee met last summer to discuss our short and long-term financial goals. As discussed during the 2018 budget presentation, the goal was the last 5 years to provide tax stabilization. The goal for the next 5 years should be tax relief. Towards that end, the Finance Committee directed the administration to develop a strategy to provide tax relief to the Hackensack taxpayers. This morning, the Finance Department Committee met and reviewed our progress, and we are confident that during this year's budget presentation, we will be able to provide and deliver a 5-year financial plan which will include no increases to the city's budget tax levy each year through 2023. Details of this plan will be provided at the 2019 budget presentation on March 26. I'd like to take a couple of moments and ask Deputy Mayor Catastrino to make some comments. She and Councilman Leo Battaglia are on the Finance Committee. Jim Mangan's here if we get to a point or a stage or question that I can't answer.
Right.
Deputy Mayor.
Again, it's budget planning time, so the Finance Committee is very focused on where we're going and where we've been. Sometimes it's hard to believe that 4 of our council members have been here for 5 years, sitting here, and our newest council member for over a year. So we've actually completed our 5-year plan that we presented to you back 5 years ago about where we wanted to be financially as far as tax stability and the city being able to control and manage their expenditures and bring more revenue into the city to bring some tax relief to our residents. Jim is going to do a great presentation, as he always does, at the end of March, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. But I'm just going to, you've seen some of this slide before, and I think you can see it from where you sit, because just looking at that red line kind of tells the whole picture, all right? Going back years, you see this red line. These were the actual tax levy increases that happened throughout the city of Hackensack. All right, so the reds are the actuals. What's happened? I took these numbers back to 2004, all the way up to 2018. Right, so when we came into office, we set goals, right? And the first goal, if you see the green line, that's our goals, right? So our first goal was, let's stabilize it, because no one can live like this. No one can anticipate that one year my taxes are going to go up this much, and the next year I get a break, then it's going to be here. And not only can individuals not live like this, we certainly couldn't get people to invest in our town like this, because no one is going to have lending ability or borrowing capability without some type of stability. So our 5-year plan was, let's prove that we can stabilize it at 4 and drop it to 2 and hold there. And that's exactly what we've done. If you see these numbers, we got it to 4, we stayed there. In the last 2 years, we got it down to 2, and we kept it there. What that means is your tax levy. Now, your tax levy is the amount of money that has to be raised from your taxes to support the city only. So where we are now, our next 5 years, you see that green line go down to 0. So our goal is to be able to provide to the residents a city tax levy that shows no increase over the next 5 years. And we know it's a challenge, but if you're going to have a goal, it has to be a challenging goal. But we feel very confident that we're going to achieve it this year, and we have plans to achieve it for the next 5 years. So I'm very proud. And Leo, again, my companion on the Finance Committee from the council, are also very proud, and I think the entire council shares that. You know, this has not been easy, but we did it. We did it together. We did it with the support of the council, the city manager, and all of the city employees. So you'll be hearing more about this the end of March. But again, I think a very noteworthy achievement and accomplishment. And thanks again, Ted, for your support, and Jim as well.
I just wanted to say that the mayor and council, especially the Finance Committee, to say the least, have challenged the city employees here to meet these goals. These goals are definitely taking, and Kathy Catastrino is 100% right. If you don't challenge people, you're never going to get the best from them. That comes from coaches, education. We've had every one of those demonstrations here tonight. So I'm very pleased. I think that the city is certainly charting away, and then I have the best news in the whole wide world. It's my favorite time of the year. The end of the year city manager's report. Now, I'm going to spare you folks of my first year here, because I read every slide till I almost lost my voice. Tonight, we would have so much fun to discuss 54 slides, plus finish the city's business. We've had Black History Month. We've had all of our invited guests here. We've had proclamations. I'm going to give you the abridged edition of this. However, all of this is on the website. So you folks can take the time to distill the information provided. And if you have questions, I certainly invite you to call myself. Or if you really want to challenge yourself, see if you can stump Jim Mangan. You can also call him, our CFO. But in either case, I'm going to switch chairs. We're going to dim the lights, and I'm going to give you the quicker version of this 54 pages of just sheer poetry. Thank you.
Oh, it's here.
Are you done yet?
Almost. Let me just put the chair. We need to dim some more lights. Is that too bright for you? Can you even, can the audience see that? We're good? Okay. The 2018 year in review report, as previously stated, all of this is on the city website. But let me start with redevelopment. Redevelopment seems to be the spearhead that drives the city for its performance and how we're making improvements. And there are pages, 15 of them right out of the gate, that identify streets that we are ongoing improvements to the city, and these projects are clearly under redevelopment and are going to provide a change of the tax base for the city. And quickly, 149 Main Street, 150 to 170 Main Street, 161 Main Street, 210, 214 Main Street, 240 Main Street, 324 Main Street, 18 Camden, 5052 Main Street, 150 River, 320 Ward Street, 22 Sussex, 17 Mercer Street, 435 Main Street, and the HUMC $700 million upgrade project that's over Second. The quickly reason why I bring this up is the focus for the mayor and council has always been and is working towards the redevelopment and the improvements of Main Street, which has always been a goal for the city, and we are currently engaged in doing that. The subject of project management is we have our own projects that we're managing and making sure that we get these projects in place, because these are the things that provide services for the taxpayer and the residents, to include Fashini Park Playground, Fire Headquarters, Beach Street and Prospect Signal Installation, performance of the arts, Lower Center replacement, street projects, repavement of streets, Sussex, Lay Street, Fredericks Beach, Russell, thank you. Mary Street, Polyfly, North Prospect, all of these streets, to include the repair of the tennis courts at Carver Park, the remediation of Johnson Park, Pistol Range, so we can move forward with the dome for soccer, lighting projects, City Hall, replacement of the roof here, the improvements to Green Street remediation, so these projects can be developed. Obviously, we have upcoming development of Hackensack Hospital for the Second Street improvements, and obviously all the reconstruction that we're doing on Main. Police Department has provided in 2018 98,751 calls for service, 9,503 summonses, 3,669 moving violations, 5,834 parking violations. Police Department obviously is investigated, or not obviously, has investigated 116 cases were assigned to the Detective Bureau, 609 of these cases were assigned to the Youth Bureau, 1,167 license permits were also investigated by PCI. Police Department is going, you'll find in this packet a lengthy demonstration of the police training that has been provided to our police department and our officers to obviously improve their skill set so they can perform and meet the challenges of the ever-changing law enforcement that goes on daily. New laws, new requirements, better practices, better technology, and obviously the education to provide police officers to remain as professionals as they are paid to be. We have a constable report, shows constables have investigated and assigned zoning, building, health, police, fire departments. There's been involved in 2,068 calls. They involve 50 landscapers, 26 snowplows, 79 garage sales, 483 summonses, and 51 written warnings. We have a nice report that also includes H-Cops walking Main Street, the H-Cop Honor Guard, the time that these people donate, because they're not paid, for events, Holy Trinity Carnival, 4th of July football, games, New Year's Eve day procession, torch run, park rangers, providing this. One of the main focuses has become very important for the city is parking. 2018 meter coin revenue has increased over $153,000, which is 38% increase from 2017. Those numbers are also increasing for 2019. If you look at that, where the city is making advanced improvements, as the money and revenue that we reap from parking enforcement is also providing the new funds that provide for the technology, whether you're going to use mobile park or one of these systems where you can put it on your phone. We're not plugging the meters, we don't have the maintenance of it. So this whole redevelopment, which candidly was not a complete system before, is really outlined. And obviously, if you're going to have a city, you have to provide parking and you have to provide a system that works for the people that come here and the residents that live here. We have a report from our fire department that discusses all the categories that they've resolved, or I should say responded to, in 2018. They're well documented in this report. One of the big components that the city relies on is the fire prevention. The city of this size has to take the time, provide the quality of people to make sure that we do the proper inspections to make sure life safety and people are safe. This is done and performed well, and the city is proud of its fire department and its fire inspection, because when you take a city of this size, we have, in my opinion, a very limited exposure of issues. And one of the big saves this year was in October when we had the fire on Main Street. Our fire department showed up, also with mutual aid, did an outstanding job. It was a really, really windy day that day. If it hadn't been for the fire department and their immediate response and knowing exactly what to do, it would have probably burned down half the city block there. Community outreach is discussed by what the fire department provides as far as education, kids, youth academy training from the police department and the fire department, the ability for us to retain its ICO class rating. There are only two fire departments in the entire state that are certified, that get basically what the fire department uses is the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. Hackensack Fire and Bloomfield are the only two in the state. Building department, it outlines the permits, the fees, the funding that was collected, the hours that are provided. The city of Hackensack is working with our construction department. We're making improvements. We're making improvements as far as staffing. The concern is to make sure that we have enough inspectors and the right staff on to serve the redevelopment that's existing here. One of the few things is we've looked at alternate plans. We also have been in communication with Bergen County, and actually Bergen County is going to create its own essentially building department, and if on a need basis we could actually have them. The city in the past has provided construction services to Bergen County, permit fee for free, and also inspections for free. Quite candidly, it was a big demand on the city because of all the county buildings here, and but we seem to have that pretty much in place, and we're going to resolve that issue. Municipal court discusses how many tickets were entered, how many summonses were responded to as far as being disposed. It lists our criminal. All of that information certainly can be provided to you on the city website if you want to take the time to review each one of these documents. One of the things that we're doing under tax collection is finding new ways for people to pay their taxes and to do it easily. Instead of providing a check or come in, they'll be able to do it on a debit card. Obviously, we can use technology to our advantage so we don't have to put off the payment, the service, and the time it takes for this to be done. That efficiency hopefully will save on people paying their fees on time, and obviously maybe will reduce the ability or the responsibility of having tax liens or tax sales. Our assessor is still using for another year our rolling assessment which we will then, once completed, we'll have an analysis done and decide whether we were going to continue with that program or not. I've worked in communities that went 30 years without a reval, and it's disastrous because it completely skews everything. And it's a big hit to people. People don't mind paying taxes, or I should say, are willing to pay taxes if the adjustment or the change is at a fair rate. When you have people's taxes that jump thousands of dollars from one rate to another, it's catastrophic. And I've unfortunately lived through that experience in other communities. Department of Public Works. We continue to work hard to improve our public works. The Public Works Department has added new equipment, new sanitation trucks. Deputy Mayor Catastrino brought up that we have a new vac truck that was very expensive. We're looking at, we have a new sweeper ordered. It'll be delivered late August, 1st of September. We're looking at a replacement of a roll-off truck that's probably 22 years old. We have another mason dump that we're gonna obviously give a look, and if it can be repaired, we're gonna use it. I am personally a fan of getting the complete useful life out of this equipment. Age to me makes no difference of the year of the vehicle. If the truck is functional or the equipment's functional, if it could be, you know, 1971 vintage, if it's still doing the job, then it should be doing the job because it was purchased with taxpayer money, and we should get as much of the effort and work out of it as we personally can. The DPW, I think, in my opinion, has done an excellent job with snow removal, but we've had kind of a unique year. We haven't had the big storms. We've had a lot of icing conditions, but fortunately with our new shared services with Bergen County, our new salt dome is on Kansas, and we've used quite a little salt here, but when you figure the cost that we have not spent in snow plowing, the man hours that are so far, we're in pretty good shape financially, and hopefully winter will be leaving us since Ponxatelli Phil there has done his job, and hopefully we will be done with this shortly. We'll have to send him some rhododendrons or something to chew on and thank him for his service. Total garbage collections, 16,850.33 tons, which caused $1,148,255.40. The one thing that has changed for us operationally is recycling. Because of our new relationship with China, recycling used to pay us money. It's virtually to the point now it's going to cost us money. So this is an adjustment for the city because no one wants to pay for recycling. Most places are now making that a charge. That's one of the new changes that we're trying to adjust. The Health Department report shows all the vital statistics of all the births, deaths, and recorded issues that we have in the city. Our Health Department continues to provide excellent service to this community and other under shared services. And so far, we've done, I think, a good job because they reach out to community when it comes to health issues or concerns, and we try to use our best foot forward by the educational process. Library. We have a new librarian, but this information was based on 2018, which was provided by our former librarian, Sharon. So far, the library has documented 130,526 items circulated, reference to questions and answers, provided computer, children programs, and adult. We continue to work with our library to make sure that they provide the best service that we can to our residents. Obviously, our libraries are certainly well used, and the libraries usually provide most of the services to young families with children and seniors. Community assistance programs that the city does with the library, we're also trying to make sure that we don't overlap programs at our new HPAC. As we blend these community programs and we continue to challenge ourselves in the community, we want to find ways that we can provide better service to the residents. Now we're going to switch to recreation. 2018 recreational sports programs, athletic activities include youth basketball, winter track, youth volleyball, junior wrestling, sprint track, junior soccer, spring and summer, baseball, tennis, junior cheering, junior football, fall soccer, and open swim. We are working diligently, and I was there yesterday at the M&M building. The building is progressing. I wish it progressed a little faster. However, we will have a beautiful facility and a beautiful building that will certainly meet the challenges and the needs of the city of Hackensack. They are now at the point that they're starting to put the window enclosures for the gym part, and then they'll start to proceed on the new gym floor. But it will be a beautiful facility when it's finished. The recreational department identifies all our rec programs, annual Easter egg hunt, Memorial Day celebration, senior bus trips. Those people that are involved know what the city provides and what our recreational department has done in the past. Obviously, when we get the building done, some of those programs that we have reduced or cut temporarily because we don't have the space or storage to hold these facilities because it's under construction we're getting to. A notable mention is the HPAC that certainly has provided some quality programs for people to attend. We're only in that program and using that facility just a little over a year, but we seem to be kind of the little engine that could, because we seem to actually provide better service. Some of the programs, even though on the small scale, I took my grandkids to the Christmas show and they had a ball. So it's a jewel for the city. It was designed to make this community enhanced. It certainly was the ability to get Main Street rejuvenated, and I think it's done exactly that. We have a few bugs that we need to work out. We have a few facility things that we're doing. But if you've not taken the opportunity to buy some tickets and go to the HPAC and see one of the shows or be part of that, you're missing out on a great opportunity. I'm not going to read all the programs, but there were plenty that have been held. The city clerk's office, they have some real excitement there because they just keep getting those Oprah requests. Debbie enjoys these so much. We have 1,099 Oprah requests. Oprah requests is the Open Public Records Act for people to request information. What people don't seem to understand is those requests generate work or staff to look all this up, make copies, have people pick it up. It's within their right to do so, but those numbers seem to grow with every month. And sometimes some people think they might even be either retaliatory or abusive because we keep filling them out. But it's a requirement of city government, and we will meet that challenge. But we have had to hire part-time people to cover these Oprah requests because they just keep growing. The 2018 budget is explained on the sheet from our auditing department. You can certainly review all of that, and as I stated previously to my little presentation here, if you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to the city manager's office or to Jim Mangan, our CFO. He especially likes those calls around 3:30, 3:45, so don't hesitate to call. Our final budgets have been in place. Jim has done the financial, basically reassessment. Each year we start a new budget, we have to basically reconcile and close the books from the previous year. Jim has finally completed that with the assistance of the auditor, and we are now ready to put the budget together. So myself and Mr. Mangan are going to sit down and go through the operating expense of it. Obviously, the salary and wage are, for almost all of our employees, are controlled by union contracts, and there are only 2 opening remaining that hopefully I will finally have resolved. Capital fund, general capital is $5,170,017.60. Parking capital is $363,261. capital fund total, 5 million, nope, 5, go ahead, Jim. 5.5 million, $33,278.68. So, I would like to say that the city of Hackensack, probably financially, is probably in one of its best places it's been for a long time. There was a $30 million tax issue that we were fighting with, and as each year goes, that debt service drops off. So that comment that I read that Deputy Mayor Catastrino made comments about the finance, and I'm here with Leo, who strong arms me in every meeting, so this way he doesn't have to reach that far. That's why I said close to him. Have basically challenged the finance and the auditing department and the city manager's office to make this work. So as prepared and presented, we're gonna try, and we'll report all of this once we get all the numbers sorted out on the 26th, Jim? 26th, what the 5-year plan is, and that the goal is to get the city of Hackensack to a 0 increase for the tax levy. As Deputy Mayor Catastrino pointed out, that's the amount of money raised by taxes, not you, us. Is there, Mayor, do you want to wait till the end to see if there's questions about this? Because I'm about out of ammunition here.
Yeah, sure, keep going.
Okay, so these are words I never hear from them. Don't stop, finish. Okay, so is there any questions of anyone tonight? There will be a full budget review on the 26th. Obviously, the folks of you, this gives you time to review all of this. This is on the city website. You can pull this out, distill it, if you need to ask questions, and certainly on the 26th, we welcome you to come and ask questions if need be, and we'd be glad to resolve this. And hopefully, we continue to try to make you proud of the people that work for the city of Hackensack and the efforts that we make. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Jim.
Good job, guys.
Good job.
Lights, camera action, let's go. You have anything else, Ted?
No, sir.
Okay,
I'm gonna remain silent.
moving forward, resolution 72-19.
This is a resolution for the final adoption of ordinance number 6-2019, an ordinance to amend chapter 170 of the Code of the City of Hackensack Vehicles and Traffic to add a new handicap parking space in section 49.2, parking for the handicap. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Okay, need a motion to open to the public, please?
Offer.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Anybody from the public who'd like to speak on resolution 72-19, please come forward. Seeing nobody from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Need a motion to adopt the ordinance as it was read, please?
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed?
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that ordinance number 6-2019 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 73-19.
This is a resolution for the final adoption of ordinance number 7-2019, an ordinance to amend Chapter 170 of the Code of the City of Hackensack Vehicles and Traffic to remove obsolete provisions governing parking on Anderson Street. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Okay, I need a motion to open to the public, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Anybody from the public who'd like to speak on 73-19? Please come forward. Seeing no one from the public, motion to close.
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Need a motion to adopt resolution 73-19.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 7-2019 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 74-19.
This is a resolution for the final adoption of ordinance number 8-2018, an ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 93 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, garbage, rubbish, and refuse to establish regulations governing roll-off containers/dumpsters and prohibiting other storage on city streets and property. This ordinance has been advertised pursuant to law and now calls for a public hearing.
May I have a motion, please? Motion to open to public, sorry.
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody from the, none opposed, anybody from the public who would like to speak on ordinance or resolution 74-19, please come forward. Seeing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed.
Be it resolved by City Council of the City of Hackensack County, Bergen, and State of New Jersey, that ordinance number 8-2019 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 75-19.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 1-2019, an ordinance to establish a new chapter of the Hackensack City Code entitled Drug-Free and Drunk Driving-Free Zones.
Need a motion?
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 1-2019 is introduced is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on March 12, 2019, at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached, at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and that at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 76-19.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 9-2019, an ordinance amending Chapter 170 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Vehicles and Traffic, to prohibit commercial truck parking in residential areas and tractor-trailer parking on city streets, parks, and municipal lots.
Need a motion to introduce 76-19?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 9-2019 is introduced, does now pass on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on March 12, 2019, at 8:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 77-19.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 10-2019, an ordinance amending State Street Redevelopment Plan, Block 209, lots 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15.
Need a motion to introduce, please?
Offer.
All in favor?
I'm sorry,
Aye.
second? Oh,
Stephanie.
okay, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. Okay, so that was all in favor?
All in favor? None opposed?
Okay, be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 10-2019 is introduced, does now pass on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on March 12, 2019, at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 78-19.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 11-2019, an ordinance amending and updating Chapter 159 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, Towers and Wreckers.
Need a motion to introduce.
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unopposed?
Be it resolved that the above ordinance being ordinance 11-2019 is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on March 12, 2019 at 8:00 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law, with a note of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 79-19.
This This is a resolution authorizing tax refunds for duplicate payments, state board judgment, and 100% tax exempt renter.
Need a motion, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Resolution 80-19.
This is a resolution authorizing a shared service agreement between the City of Hackensack and the Borough of Woodridge to provide a child health conference.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 81-19.
This is a resolution authorizing tax appeal attorney to settle the cases on the attached list dated February 7th, 2019, that were scheduled for a trial or settlement.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Resolution 82-19.
This is a resolution authorizing the award of cooperative purchasing contracts for the purchase of 3 Ford Explorers for the building department.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Resolution 83-19.
A resolution for emergency temporary appropriations prior to the adoption of the budget per NJSA 40A:4-20.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Resolution 84-19.
A resolution authorizing transfer of 2018 budget appropriations.
Need a motion?
Offer.
All in, second.
I'm sorry,
All in
who seconded?
favor? I think Leo second.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Resolution 85-19.
Resolution authorizing award of contract for engineering services for Atlantic Street Parking Garage renovation project to Desmond Design Management.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 86-19.
Is a resolution, excuse me, authorizing award of contract for engineering surveying services Atlantic Street Parking Garage renovation project to Neglia Engineering Associates.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 87-19.
A resolution authorizing award of cooperative purchasing contract for the purchase of a garbage truck body.
Need a motion, please?
Check.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 88-19.
Is a resolution authorizing award of cooperative purchasing contract for the purchase of the garbage truck chassis.
Need a motion, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Excuse me, Resolution 89-19.
A resolution authorizing accrued time payout of $9,077.47 to Fire Lieutenant Jason Diella.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 90-19.
This is a resolution amending award of state contract for the purchase of 3 police vehicles.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 91-19.
A resolution to reduce the 2018 tax levy by tax appeal judgments.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Resolution 92-19.
A resolution to adopt shared services agreement with the County of Bergen for short-term rental of county-owned street sweeper.
Need a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Resolution 93-19.
This is a resolution to adopt a shared service agreement with the County of Bergen for vehicle maintenance and repair services on an as-needed basis.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 94-19.
This is a resolution authorizing shared services agreement for the purchase of fuel for municipal vehicles at the county's fuel pumps.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 95-19.
This is a resolution authorizing the payment of bills for February 12th, 2019.
Need a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 96-19.
This is a resolution authorizing the payment of bills for 2/26/19.
Need a motion, please.
Offered.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Sorry. Okay, we move on to the consent agenda. So it's Resolution 97-19 through 104-19. Is there anybody on the dais who has a conflict or would like anything pulled? None? Move on with the consent agenda, please.
Okay, the following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and/or additions. The consent agenda consists of 97-19 through 104-19. 97-19 is a resolution authorizing appointment of Class 2 special law enforcement officers. 98-19 is a resolution authorizing raffle license for Holy Trinity Church and Columbians, Inc. Resolution 99-19 is a resolution appointing the chairperson and deputy chairperson of the Stigma-Free Advisory Board. Resolution 100-19 is a resolution authorizing the appointment of a judge for the Hackensack Municipal Court. That would be Louis J. Denise. Resolution 101-19 is a resolution authorizing the issuance of requests for proposals for redevelopment financial consultant. Resolution 102-19 is a resolution authorizing the issuance of requests for proposals for tax map surveying services. Resolution 103-19 is a resolution authorizing a leave of absence for Ricardo Terranova, maintenance repairer, commencing January 14th, 2019 and ending April 8th, 2019. Resolution 104-19 is a resolution authorizing a leave of absence for Augustin Pineda, a laborer 1, commencing February 11th, 2019 and ending May 6th, 2019. And you have a motion.
Need a motion to accept and approve the consent agenda as it was just read.
Offered.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? All right. Good job, Deb. With that, I need a motion to open the public, please.
Offered.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody from the public who would like to speak, please come forward, give your name and address to the clerk, and you will have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, Carolyn Davis, 192 Stanley Place, Hackensack, New Jersey.
Good evening.
Good evening. First of all, I'd like to say the last couple of rains, I guess they've been taking care of the sewers because we have not gotten flooded on Stanley Place.
Yay.
So I thank God for that. I'd like to also publicly thank the police director, Marianella. We had a very large funeral at our church on Saturday, and he was more than cooperative in working with us and the police department for helping us with that situation on Central Avenue. I have one question. Since 2017, Jersey City is a case study. 10% of their pilot payments go to the school district. And Woodbridge passed a $57 million school referendum with a zero tax impact because they also went to their developers. What I want to know is in all the meetings that we had with the Board of Education about the referendum, were those options ever afforded them about going to the developers? Because I feel if other towns can do it, with all the development we have going on in Hackensack, that should have also been offered. I don't know if it was. I'd like to know if it was, and if not, why not?
The list is public. I mean, the city does the hard work and secures the developers. The list is public and it's actually on our website. So if the school feels that it's realistic for them to approach developers for a contribution to the school, explain how important it is to them, that's at their discretion should they wish to do that.
It is at their discretion, but the city council, I think, has more availability than the Board of Education, more knowledge, and we're there to help them.
I'm sorry, but we're really totally distinct. You know, if you think about our budgets are distinct, our operations are distinct. So what the city council does and what the Board of Education does, really, we manage our budgets, we manage our revenue, and they do the same.
I'm not asking you to manage your budget. I'm saying that you met with them for several months to work together on a referendum. So as you're working together with them,
we're talking about the schools or the pilots now.
Excuse me?
We're talking about they never broached the subject of talking to us about approaching developers for contributions. If they chose to do so, that information is public information, and they could have reached out and accomplished that on
I
their
would
own.
think that you would approach
Let
that
me
then.
finish. The pilot discussions, there's lots of restrictions as to what pilot discussions can and cannot include, and those restrictions are placed by the state. Now, you keep comparing us to Jersey City. We have one project that's open that we're receiving pilots for. Jersey City has hundreds, and it has been doing this for 20 or 30 years that they've been doing it. Our agreement has been an informal one with the Board of Education. We've asked them to provide us with information as these projects open as to the number of students, which they have on State and Warren, which is 12 students. It's a small number. And if we agree together that they can justify that there's an expenditure on their part coming from this, we don't perceive that there will be. But if we do, we would be happy to work with them and make a contribution to them to afford that. But we're not there yet. We're not anywhere close to doing that. As you said, if Jersey City, I don't know that they contribute 10%. If your numbers are correct,
It's online.
that's again, they're into this for 20 or 30 years. So their decision and the number of students may justify that. We're just not there yet. We only have one.
I would just hope that in the future, being that you have more opportunity and availability in working with the developers, you're the one that brings them into the city, that you would be the one to make the
Our
suggestions.
discussion,
well over 3, but
Right, based on their projections, remember, they do a fiscal impact study, and based on their projections and numbers of students, that has never been a topic of discussion with the city. Now, if the Board of Ed chooses to explore that option, that's totally up to them.
before the next person speaks, I just want to bring something up. The pilots for redevelopment in rehabilitation zones, such as we have, are made strictly, basically, for the rebuilding of a downtown. They're not made to help the school systems. It's up to the city if we wanted to do that. And we have said to the Board of Ed, if there was an excessive amount of children coming in, we would certainly step up to the plate. That hasn't even come close. I'll give you an example, since you mentioned Jersey City. With all their pilots, their population has increased by 10% in Jersey City. Their school population has dropped 5%. These buildings are not made to bring in children. They're not doing that. The proof is in the pudding. It's perfect example is Avalon Bay and the Meridian Building on State Street. They're very small amount of children. We were just talking before about 5 units. A 5-unit apartment building on Main Street that's been there for years has 12 children in it. A 250-unit apartment building on State Street has 7. Think about that. So the pilot program itself is not meant to feed money to the schools. That's not the intent of the program. The program is meant to rebuild. And we want to partner with the schools. Our plan is not to put children in the school. That's not what the redevelopment's about.
But we've always said we would be open to discussion should there be an impact to the schools. It's just too early on to determine that. Also, we watch Jersey City very closely. We watch other towns that have been going through this for way longer than us very closely. And Jersey City recently has moved away from their downtown type development, and they're now doing development in other parts, and that's where they're focusing a lot of their attention. And some of this, or a decent part of this, is not the type of development that you do in a downtown. It's moderate and even some low income, where you're expecting children. Hence, if there is an initiative about schools, it is that initiative because that's their new target audience. Our plans at this point, and things change, just like our vision changes, things change. But our plans right now are not to disturb the current neighborhoods that we have. Our vision is to maintain the integrity of our neighborhoods. Our focus is on our downtown explicitly. And the type of units and the size of those units are not units that are being marketed to families or folks with children. But time will tell. If it's wrong, we're going to work with the schools. They have our commitment to that, absolutely. But it's too early, Carolyn, to really know where we are with that.
Thank you. Next, please.
Randy Glover, Hackensack. Good evening, City Council and City Manager. I have a much more simplistic request. Mine's is, last year I did a Hackensack Music Festival. This year I would like to do another Hackensack Music Festival. I would like the city to partner with me. I actually want to do it in the park. And that's basically my request. I'm looking at like June 22nd, June 29th. I'd like you guys to take it into consideration to see if that's at all possible, that we can work on this together. Being that the city is growing, I'm thinking more of the future when the millennials and all the other new residents come in. You have to have these activities that go on that service and entertain everybody. So this is just really thinking forward and trying to like start now and build it. That's it. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy. It's something we'll discuss as a council. Good evening, sir.
Rich Serbo, Spring Valley Ave, Hackensack. You know, I just want to mention right off the bat about the Hack Pack, and I'm happy about it. I think there's a great diversity of entertainment. I think it's terrific. There's a rotation of the art gallery downstairs. The shows have been great. I've been there a few times. I saw Leo there. He's there always, and it's just terrific. So let's really give it more support, maybe. Let's give it a little more juice and see if we can really bring it over the finish line. I mean, it's just terrific. I love it. Okay, I just want to say a couple things. You know, I was going to mention the Great Compromiser, which during this day and age, that may be pejorative, but we had a great compromiser many years ago, Henry Clay, and I just wanted to mention that he said that government was about trust, and everybody in it are trustees. And it's all for the benefit of everyone, all of us. What is it, 45,000 people here now in Hackensack, right? Mm-hmm. So can we keep that in mind, that it's trust, you're all trustees, and it's about serving the public, the 45,000 people that are here, if that's an accurate figure. I think we're about there now, 45,000, 47,000, 45?
Very close.
45,000? Okay, that's it. Last thing I was going to say is during the election cycle, what is it, a couple years ago now almost, we kind of mentioned a few things. One of them was a comprehensive plan for Hackensack. Now, I know you have a plan going. The redevelopment is on schedule. Okay, all right. I'm not going to scream bloody murder about it, but please, can we emphasize more of a plan? We spoke about a comprehensive plan, and it just seems all over the place. And could you just focus for us and speak about a plan and how this all pulls together and works together? And that's all I'm asking. I mean, is that too much to ask? I think it's a good thing to speak about that instead of just seeing new projects go here, go there, and oh boy, another one. And just pull it together and tell us what's going on, okay? Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Next, please.
Regina DePasqua, Parker Avenue. Following up on what Carolyn Davis was talking about, Mrs. Canestrino, your answer was a little bit flippant, disingenuous. They didn't ask. You were in on those meetings. You didn't offer to help. You didn't offer to find a way, because you didn't want to, and I know you didn't want to. And that comes to the trust issue. The trust issue, you and I went back and forth online about planning board recommendations on the school project. We all know there were no recommendations by the planning board, but you lied. Then when I called you out on it, you said, oh no, it was a letter that the board attorney sent to the school attorney. So I said, well, how did this letter come about? To myself. So I did an Oprah request. I did say to you that probably because you told Joe to do it. I did an Oprah request, and yes, there's, let's see, Joe and Kathy, Kathy and Joe, emails. It came about by emails, not at an open public meeting, not a consensus of the board. Kathy Canestrino's decisions on what should be the concerns and recommendations. Okay, you want to make faces? Show me the actual emails, because I only got the fact that there was emails. So I can only presume, I'm not going to assume, presume what I know of how you operate and how cannot trust. You twist things, and you twisted this to say the planning board made recommendations. There's not in the minutes of the planning board in October or November, but there are records of emails going back and forth, letter of recommendation. Well, the planning board didn't even do a resolution to do a letter, which is required. The planning board takes no action without a resolution. But you did all these emails on the school review and put in things that were out of the purview, as I said, out of the purview of the board. Who goes to what school is not not a planning board matter. That's a Board of Education. You overstepped. You didn't stay in your lane, and you went to all these meetings supposedly to help the school board, and you ended up torpedoing them. You ended up using the information you gained at those meetings against them. And you did not offer to help as far as developers. As I said many times, this city's, the taxes that it gives to the school is less than 50%, 45%. It could be down to 43% now. That's unheard of in a city this size. But where's the other taxes going? Where's the developers' money's going? Maybe somebody's pocket. I don't know.
I'd like to respond. I mean, first of all, Regina, for you to presume or assume something that I said in an email, I mean, we're probably as different as night and day. So for you to assume what I said or make a presumption publicly that you think you know what I said, I think is totally not acting responsibly here coming in front of this council. I'm sorry, it was my turn. I did not craft a letter. I did
Please,
not.
we're not going to go back and forth.
We're not
Please.
going back
No
and
back
forth.
and forth.
You're a liar.
You can talk to our attorney from the planning board who followed the state statute. The entire planning board was aware that a letter was to be sent to the Board of Education documenting what transpired that night. Those minutes were the planning board
Please,
attorney. I'm
Mr.
explaining
Pasqua, please.
the situation because you brought it up. The planning board attorney summarized the minutes.
Public Meetings Act all you want, and I will call
just
you
go.
out every single time. You violated the Open Public Meetings Act. Don't throw me out, I'm leaving.
I'm going to explain to the public.
Thank you.
It is part of the state statute when the planning board does a review for a school board or a school building, that a letter is sent. They have 45 days to respond to the school. In this case, there is nothing that the planning board can do to enforce the questions that they raise. They just document them in a letter. The planning board attorney took those minutes and summarized them. They were sent to planning board members, of which no one commented, no one changed a word. As he wrote them, that's exactly what was sent to the Board of Education, which I believe Mr. Pasqua has a copy of. And if she looks at that and she looks at the minutes, that's exactly what she's going to see, because that's exactly what happened. I wrote an email to him to remind him, because we have our meetings with the Board of Education, that those 45 days were coming up. And the superintendent reminded us that November 14th, November 16th, they were going to be hearing from the Department of Education on their approval. And I wanted to make sure that they also had the letter that they were supposed to have in a timely manner. That's the content of my emails. Now, I'm telling you the absolute truth. You have no reason to not believe me. If you choose to believe that Regina knows me well enough to predict what I said in an email, there's nothing I can do to dissuade you from that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else from the public? Well, hello, sir.
Good evening, Paul Nichols. I like the way you did that this year, Ted. That was good. Nice and quick. So since you talk about that, you know what, sometimes I talk about the police department, but I really, we need to give kudos to the fire department because they do a lot of stuff. I think I got a free smoke detector from them one year. But, so they do a really good job with everything. But one thing we should talk about more, and I like to promote, is the library. The library does a really good job with outreach and stuff. And if you didn't know, they have a social work intern every year that you can go in and talk about anything. Anything from mental health to resumes and all that kind of stuff. So that's really good. I like the way they're expanding things that they're doing over there. So other than that, that's all I really want to talk about. Other than maybe, oh, actually there was one quick thing. Maybe you could update the Access for All thing. Do you want to, I'll give the rest of my time, but maybe you could talk if anything's going on with that, or if we want to, if we're looking for residents more. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Too.
Next, please. Anybody? Seeing none, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Okay. Miss Stephanie?
Yes. Short and sweet, congratulations to all the recipients tonight. All their wonderful work in the school district and the city of Hackensack. Tonight was the first night opportunity I had to meet 3 of the recipients, but I do know Miss Whitaker, and she's a wonderful, wonderful woman and principal at Parker School. Just a great person. I can't say enough, positive things about her and the school that she runs. Thank you to Ted, Jim, Kathy, and Leo for all their hard work, and all the department heads and employees in regards to the budget and the tax levy. That's exciting news. I know a lot of diligence and hard work goes into that, and we appreciate all the hard work behind the scenes. That's it for me. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Steph. I was at the Hack Pack at the last Pack the House series. Amy Helm performed to a really packed house. I mean, it was a great performance. It was another very exciting night there, and Mr. Serbo talked about it. If you haven't been there to visit, please get yourself down there. It's really worth it. It's, we're getting a great population of folks coming through there, and everyone we talk to seems to be, more and more impressed with what they see. So again, kudos to everyone involved in running that down there, and things are going smoothly, smoother than we expected from last year. It's always hard to start one of these things from scratch. So, we're excited to expand it in the first week of March. That first weekend, there'll be another Pack the House. Leo, I'm not going to murder the name of the performers. Do you remember?
Fleur de Toulouse.
Say it, John?
Fleur de Toulouse.
Fleur de Toulouse is
March 9th.
March 9th is going to be performing. So if you don't have your tickets, take a look on the website and treat yourself to a nice evening. Congratulations, of course, to the honorees of Black History Month. I think it was wonderful to see, again, so many educators and how important it is, in the city of Hackensack, that we see how full of energy they are and full of love for what they do. And I think that that's what's most important for our students, is that they get exposure to folks that really, really put their hearts and soul to it every day. And again, best of luck to all of them, and it's a pleasure to have honored them here tonight. Ted, thanks for doing the quick version. A big improvement over a couple of years ago, where you were able to get through it. I also think you know it better, so it's easier for you to talk about it.
Lesson learned.
Congratulations to everyone, all the city employees, all of the managers and department heads that put those slides together. I mean, it shows that we had a great 2018, and we look forward to an even better 2019. I have to mention it again, I mean, with the Finance Committee, for us to be able to say we're going to hold our levy this year, and hopefully for the next 5 years, that's our plan. I think that's great news for the city of Hackensack. I mean, one of the things we hear all the time is we need tax relief and we need to see a change. And the fact that we feel confident that we're going to be able to do that, I think this entire council is very, very proud of that. A couple of quick things tonight worth mentioning is one of the things, we have drug-free zones, in certain areas where children are, around schools, parks, et cetera, and we're adding drunk driving to that as well. And I think that's, a well-needed addition to those ordinances. Again, we need, we see issues, unfortunately, frequently in the newspapers about this. So that was on tonight. There was something about an update for State and Warren redevelopment. That is the one new project, the piloted project that's open on the corner of State and Warren. And truly what's going on over there is they had a very small leasing office on Warren Street. And now that they're leased, it was, what are we going to do with that space? And they're looking to put a small coffee shop there, which I think is a wonderful use. I mean, you have 220-something units over there, folks, walking to buses and trains, and even people coming and going from the Hack Pack. That, is going to be a very simple kind of grab-and-go kind of thing. So that's what that was about. Pretty much, I think that's it. It's late. You can see this is the sick side of the council. We're all losing voices and confidence.
That's why I'm leaning
so.
this way.
So I wish everyone healthy. Stay away from us. We'll get our germs back under control. And again, thanks for coming and sticking with us tonight, the few folks that did.
Thank you. Mr. Leo.
What about Mr. Dave?
What about Dave?
I thought, all right, I
Dave
messed
goes
up.
Dave.
Sorry, Dave. I thought it went over you and came back this way.
Tonight, this city council, I salute you. The Black History Program keeps getting better and better every year. So on behalf of my colleagues in the district, I want to thank you. I have a little fun fact for you. For those of you who may not know, Victor Hugo Green grew up in Hackensack. He was the author of the Green Book. The book which won the recent Oscar-winning movie of the same title was named after. The Green Book was a travel guide for African Americans in the United States. The book was published in 1936 to 1966. The book lists and reviewed hotels, restaurants, gas stations, and helped African Americans safely navigate through the racial segregated countries, South and North. The Elks Club on 351 First Street was one of the few entries in the book that still exists today. I want to take a moment to acknowledge Mr. Green. While it's unfortunate that the book was necessary in the first place, it provided African Americans with an invaluable resource which contributed toward their freedom of movement, and for that we are grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations again to all the wonderful teachers. I know that few of them educate my kids when they used to be in the middle school and the high school. Thanks again to Ted and Jean and Kathy. Together we think we do the best we can to try an idea that we got right from the beginning to try to stabilize the taxes and find eventually, maybe not this year, but next year to see some kind of reductions in the taxes, because that's the more important thing that these people are looking for. They want to see some reduction. And I know that we're going to continue with the sewer separations maybe next week. And I'm going to have a meeting with the city manager and the contractor that are going to be in charge to do the resurfacing on the turf field and Johnson Park. Thank you for coming. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Earlier meeting, we spoke about shared services, and there were some resolutions tonight speaking to that. That's a great service for both the city and the county, who we're sharing these services with. The Salt Dome itself, which we now share side by side with on county property, is probably saving the city close to $1 million a year, or $1 million overall, because it would cost us close to that to build that Salt Dome and buy the piece of property somewhere in the city in order to get it off of Green Street where it was an eyesore, and that area is just crying for redevelopment because it's right next to the train station. So it's that, along with other services, we'll be using fuel and also street sweeping. That's great. There was also a discussion about Suez water coming in and starting the removal of any lead pipes leading to houses in the water system, which is very important. We all know how dangerous lead is. You know, we will be in discussions with them, finding out exactly what we have. And also, all that work's gonna have to be, Deputy Mayor brought it up before, scheduled to go along with any work we may be having done on the streets. We don't want to have them be digging up something we just paved, so. Black History Month and all the recipients, congratulations to them. It was a great night, we had a great turnout. And Dave, you're right, we do it better every year. And that's why the kudos go to you, because you worked so hard on this, did a great job. And great group of people tonight, it was outstanding. Congratulations and kudos to the Financial Committee, Ted, Jim, Leo, and of course, the numbers girl next to me, Kathy. But we're right on target. You know, I'm proud when Kathy says, you know, our 5-year plan is met, and it makes me proud to know we're there. And I love the challenge that we're going to try to keep this flat for the next 5 years. That's it's a beautiful thing for the citizens of Hackensack. And kudos to the Finance Committee. The Hack Pack we discussed tonight. We got another 2 more Pack the House shows coming up. The one that Kathy mentioned, Fleur de Toulouse, which is March 8th? March 9th. And then the last one is in April, beginning of April, which is, what's his name? Can't think of his name. Mark Cohen. Mark Cohen's a Grammy Award-winning artist who had a huge hit called Walking in Memphis. So that should be a great show. But this weekend, there's an interesting show. I'm going to try to make it over there. It's a play. 1776 by the New Vision Players out of Fairlawn. It's an all-female cast, full orchestra, well worth checking out from what I've heard. I've heard good things about it, and I definitely want to get over to see that. So go get your tickets before they're gone. And it's a good night tonight, and everybody, we got out reasonably early considering all the festivities. So thank you for coming, and thank you for sticking it out. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you. Motion to close?
Offer.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed?